Namaskar, dear viewers, and welcome to this special edition of our program Africa Today. Cairo hosted the 10th Trilateral Summit for Cooperation Mechanism among Egypt, Greece, and Cyprus on Wednesday. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, President Nikos of Cypriot, President Nikos Christodoulidis reviewed the significant initiative focusing on energy cooperation as well as the regional security. Indeed, a very important summit taking place here in Egypt with the participation of the leaders of Egypt, Cyprus and Greece. And indeed, celebrating a decade of collaboration, Egypt is welcoming the leaders of Greece and Cyprus for a pivotal trilateral summit. This meeting underscored the nation's shared commitment to addressing the regional challenges. And our dear viewers, to shed light on this very important trilateral summit, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Medhat Melligy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Melligy, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
Sir, how significant is this summit in Cairo, which is the 10th trilateral summit for cooperation mechanism between Egypt, Greece and Cyprus?
Well, first of all, we have to be precise that this is not the first one. Actually, it's the 10th summit between the three leaders. And we are talking here about ever since we had the first summit in 2014.
Yes.
I think it's very important to shed light on this, that it's a regular summit, because some countries thinking that this is directed or aiming to disrupt the system in the Middle East or against any country of the region. So it's very important to underline that this summit is a regular summit that is taking place on a yearly basis between the three heads of state, and it has as a name activating the frameworks of economic cooperation between the three countries, developing new areas to enhance trade exchange and joint investments in the three countries through this tripartite cooperation mechanism that brings together the three countries together. And also beside the tripartite states, also there is another state, which is the international states, which is about the regional and international issues of common interest. So I think at this juncture, right now in the area of the Middle East, it was a very important moment to hold this summit here in Cairo, especially that Egypt have always been the first portal for Europe into the region, whether we're talking about Middle East or Africa. So it's not a surprise that at this moment we are having such an important summit in Cairo.
Ambassador Melligy, addressing the summit, President Sisi stressed the significance of the joint cooperation among the three nations, as well as coordination regarding the regional developments with the aim of stopping the wave of escalating violence and conflict. How do you see the stances of the three countries regarding the situation in the region?
Well, actually, both countries, and then to hear about Cyprus and Greece, both of them has been strong allies to the Arab issues in general. And I believe that listening to His Excellency President Sisi about the latest development on the situation is very important, especially that those two countries are part of the European Union, which is one of the major Israel supporters in the world, after the United States, of course, who is actually has upgraded its position from a supporter to a full-fledged accomplice to Israel in everything Israel is committing in the region. So it's very important to continue our dialogue with the European Union in order to shed light on the real position of Palestine, of Syria and Lebanon, and that might interact elsewhere as well. So I believe that a big part of the summit is going to be designated to discuss those issues, and I believe that it's going to have a very positive repercussion on the understanding of European countries to the situation in the Middle East.
Mr. Ambassador, from your point of view, how does the alliance address the latest developments in Gaza and the humanitarian crisis in the region?
You mean in the Middle East in general?
Yes.
Well, of course, as I said, I mean, Egypt has been dealing with this issue for such a long time now, and it's quite important for them to listen to it from an important vision, which is the Egyptian vision of a real one, a serious one, on and not a supporter of Palestine only, but as an important partner to peace and the first country who has ever signed a peace treaty with Israel. So I believe that when Egypt is holding this summit or other summits with European countries, it has a very important impact on the position of the European Union towards the problems of the region.
Yes. Sir, in what way does the partnership advocate for coordinated action on pressing issues like the issues of migration as well as the territorial disputes?
Well, of course, this has been issues that were even discussed on the level of the European Union itself.
Yes.
But I believe that the most important thing here when we are talking about the economic ties that links these countries to Egypt, especially in the field of energy and petroleum, to be precise, and natural gas. I think that those are the main topics that were dealt with ever since the beginning of the summit that took place in 2014, as I said.
Yes.
But when it comes to the region, it's very important for the countries in Europe to understand our position towards it, especially that Israel is enjoying a full-fledged support from, as I said, the United States accomplice to Israel in everything that is taking place in the region. So our hope lies in the hands of the European Union to stop and to take serious measures against Israel in order to deter it from continuing in this path, because Israel, after all, is not planning to lose its strong ties with the European Union.
Indeed. Mr. Ambassador, actually, energy has been always a central focus of this very important partnership. Could you elaborate on the importance of the Euro-Africa interconnector and its impact on the energy landscape in the region?
Well, as you've seen, I mean, one member of the delegation is the Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy.
Yeah.
And of course, petroleum and mineral resources. So this actually shows the importance that Egypt is giving to such a summit, to this summit, and not to mention that Egypt has vowed to be the door to African countries in order to establish renewable energies in these countries. Let's not forget the promise that Egypt has taken on itself in the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, when we said that we will lead the way to African countries to in green nitrogen and in green energy in general. So I think cooperating with countries that are advanced in those fields, such as Greece and Cyprus, will help Egypt to fulfill its promise to become the first African and perhaps Middle Eastern country to have a full transfer to these renewable energy, especially the green ones, in order to establish the world order in environment.
Yes. Sir, also beyond the electricity grids, what other energy collaborations are underway or planned among these three nations?
I believe that the first thing that were actually discussed at the beginning was the regular energy sources such as petroleum and natural gas. But nevertheless, I mean, now that, as I said, this has been expanding over the area of 10, or the time of 10 years now, ever since into states. We started in 2014 until today. So actually, although this was the beginning of the plan, I mean, how to connect, to be connected, to connect our grids in the electricity field, and also how to cooperate in the fields of petroleum and natural gas. But of course, because of the pressing issues of the renewable resources, renewable energy, Egypt is expanding its cooperation with those two countries specifically in those fields. And I believe that they are advanced, and they could be also a doorway to other European countries to cooperate with Egypt in order to excel in the region, and especially in Africa, of dominating such fields in order to help also other African and Middle Eastern countries to acquire such energies that are important in the new era that we are living in right now. So I believe that there will be some projects that will be discussed. I believe we have to wait a little bit to see what kind of agreement will we be signing. I believe that the Ministry of Energy and Electricity is preparing a draft for the leaders to sign in this field, how to even cooperate even more on those fields.
Yes, indeed. Ambassador Melligy, could the free trade zones or joint ventures be part of their future plans for deeper economic integration between the three states?
Of course, definitely. I mean, we are setting an example to many other countries, whether European or African and Middle Eastern countries, on how this cooperation could work and evolve. I mean, as I said, this is the 10th summit, and of course, I mean, if we measure the distance that we have accomplished so far from the first summit in 2014 until 10 years later in 2024, a lot have been accomplished, and this can encourage a lot of other countries, especially, and we hope even more, in the European Union to integrate itself in such fields with Egypt in order to benefit from the facilities that Egypt is providing, especially that we have already prepared ourselves economically in the field, and we cannot, we have to allow them to benefit from the infrastructure, the economic infrastructure that we have prepared already. We have undergone for a long time reforms, economic reforms in the infrastructure that we have been working on, and they have, and we are having this very soon.
Indeed. Ambassador Medhat Melligy, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much, sir, for your precious input. Always a pleasure. And indeed, that was our special coverage, our dear viewers, for Cairo hosting the Trilateral Summit for Cooperation Mechanism among Egypt, Greece, and Cyprus today. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, and Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulidis reviewed the significant initiatives focusing on energy cooperation and regional security. Addressing the summit, President Sisi stressed the significance of the joint cooperation among the three nations, as well as the coordination regarding regional developments with the aim of stopping the wave of escalating violence and conflict. He also confirmed that such cooperation would be crucial for the integration of the economic ties among the three nations. Our dear viewers, I'm Hissi Rabia. Many thanks for watching.